Andrew McCART, IFL TV, Eddie Hearn eating grapes. That just means it's a good fight night.
To be fair, considering my views for IFL, you should be feeding me these.
Listen, let me get in camera. Let's talk about the main event. Jack Catterall, Hogan and Aris. I mean, Jack did what he needed to do, but the explosive performance wasn't there. So how do you assess the performance?
I thought it was a very accomplished performance. I thought technically it was a great performance. I think two guys that, are technically very good. I think when Jack hurt Linares in the 6th round, that was the time to step on him. I think sometimes he gave him a little bit too much respect, but he also knows that Linares is a sharp puncher who's trying to walk him onto the backhand as well. Just, I think, a little bit too cautious, probably bearing in mind what might be next and also the dangers of Jorge Linares. So a very good boxing display, lacked a little bit of excitement at times, but, a comfortable win against a 3-division world champion.
Can we talk about what's next then? There was a lot of talk about somebody named Josh Taylor in that post-fight interview. Josh has already been on Twitter. He said he can't finish a roast dinner, Jack Catterall. So the needle's there. You don't need to be there as a promoter. You don't need to promote this fight, really. You don't need to sell this fight because the fight's already sold. But is that a fight you want next?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to win a world title. And arguably, Jack Catterall should have won all of them. But it's history now. But the history is bad blood. The history is what might have happened, should have happened, who won, who didn't, who said what. And when you look at the success of like a Wood Warrington or, a Smith Eubank or a Ben Eubank, the big British fights work. And Josh Taylor against Jack Catterall rematch works in Glasgow or in Manchester. And if we can't get the winner of Devin Haney against Regis Prograis, I think that is the fight to make. I think we can schedule that fight now. We've already had, not really negotiations with Top Rank, but conversations with them. I think they're up for pursuing that fight. I'm not sure the other opportunities that Josh Taylor has. It would have to be at catchweight. I don't think Jack would go to 147, but Josh should be comfortable with that. And next week we'll start deeper conversations with Top Rank to see if there's a possibility of making that fight.
You mentioned the catchweight. Would Jack be happy with that, doing upper weight?
I don't want to talk on his behalf, but depends on the number. 142, 143, 144, don't know. But, I think there's no championship on the line. So it's not undisputed champion against, but obviously you don't want to give advantage away because Jack's a 140-pounder.
Let's talk about the undercard quickly. You said to me during the week that you want to see explosive performance from your young prospects. And we got that from Will Crawler, the Jack Turners, the Paddy Lacey's. Yeah. We got some good performances, Khalil Majid as well. Yeah. So we got an explosive performance that you've been asking for in some of the fights.
Look, I'm not expecting everybody to just walk fighters down and just let your hands go with your chin in the air. But when you're levels above someone, get them out of there. Dominate them. Show everybody how good you are. And that was a great example from William Crawler. That's a performance that I look at and say, I'm excited. He looked like he had really heavy hands. His fans were excited. People watching on the stream were excited. And again, if you look at Muhammad Ali, he didn't stop his guy, but he was trying to. He was always forcing the fight. Paddy Lacey, not one of our prospects, but a great first-round knockout. And Khalil Majid, really good. You see, Khalil Majid could have won that fight on points. But great instruction from Buddy McCART, which was, don't wait, let your hands go, back him up and beat him up. And it was the volatility of punches that won him the fight. And it was a really good performance. When you stop someone, especially like Tom Farrell in his backyard, you make a statement. Great win for Reece Bellotti. It's amazing what's happened to his career. Now he's going to fight for the British title. He's a 2-division Commonwealth champion. Jack Turner's a little madman. I love him. I think he's a really dangerous man. I thought Peter McGrail boxed really well. Out the ring for 7 months. Fran Mendoza was very dangerous. And you saw that in the first round. He buzzed him and it kind of woke him up. And, it just shows you the ability of Peter McGrail. I believe he's going to be a world champion. A couple more 10-rounders, and I think this time next year he'll be ready.
Quick one on Reece Bellotti. He's lost 3 fights and came back and won 3 on the bounce, and then that sort of relates to Aqib Fiaz that you said to me as well during the week that if you lost, go back down the ladder, but we'll build you back up again. So Aqib Fiaz, even though he's been distraught backstage, I don't know if you've seen him, but he's been very, very distraught. So again, it's not the end for him.
No, but it's got to hurt. I said to him, like you could tell, he was close to tears backstage. It's the way you lose. It's the fights that you take and taking chances. He'll come back. Like I said, and it's a game of snakes and ladders. You're moving up the board. Look at Reece Bellotti. He fell down about 5 sets of ladders. And he just kept going. He got an opportunity. He won that. He kept taking risks. There was a massive risk tonight. Liam Dillon's a big risk. Then he might fight for the European title. And then if you lose, you fall down. And that happened to Aqib Fiaz tonight. But he's got to do better. Because if you're not a fighter that's going to go to, you know, British and European and hopefully world honours, you're not going to fight on this stage continuously. So he can't afford any more mistakes. So he's got to go back. He's got to realise what went wrong. He's got to make improvements. Then he'll get the opportunity to bounce back, get a little bit of confidence back, and then he'll go again at 10 rounds or at, you know, domestic level. But, you know, you get the opportunity to rebuild, but you have to learn from the defeats and you have to improve. And he'll be disappointed that he didn't beat Reece Bellotti tonight. But Bellotti, when you've suffered a few defeats, like Reece Bellotti, you just learn how to win. You know, and he's just learned how to win. And he was getting outboxed at times, Reece, and Fiaz started holding. And it was just his engine, you know, his championship experience, and he ground him down and got the stoppage.
Eddie, a wee segue away from this card tonight now. By my watch, it's 9 weeks to the 23rd of December. That's not long. You got any news for me in reference to this Ben Eubank fight?
No, I mean, look, we've been talking over the last sort of 24, 48 hours, and we're going to move forward with that fight. I think December 23rd, there's a lot of question marks because we don't know if Fury and Usyk are going. That fight for us, our fight, can go in January. But I think we're going to move forward and make that fight in the UK. You know, British boxing needs that fight. And for me, that sells out any stadium in the UK. And this week, we're going to speak to Callis Howland and both fighters and try and get it over the line for the UK, either December 23rd or in January.
We all know the things with the board and Conor Ben. That needs to be rectified, whether it be the hearing or whatnot. So what's going on with that? Is there going to be any progress along that?
You know, if we stage the fight in the UK or Callis Howland stages the fight in the UK, obviously it's up to the board if they sanction that fight.
Who will sanction the fight if it's not up to the board?
Hopefully the British Boxing Board of Control, but it's up to them, you know. But we want to do the fight in the UK, and I think we're going to move forward and do it. I mean, look, the British Boxing Board of Control are sanctioning a fight in Saudi Arabia next week between a 34-0 heavyweight, who is the number one heavyweight in the world, against a guy who's never put on a pair of boxing gloves in a professional code. So that's all right. Why are you sanctioning that fight?
British title fight out there as well.
But why you... No, the British title fight, fine. I mean, it's not within their rules to hold a British title fight outside of the UK. They changed those rules. But they're also sanctioning a fight between the number one heavyweight in the world and a guy that has never boxed before. So, you know, when a guy has won a case with UKAD and has the right to fight in Britain because he's not suspended, we're going to move forward and do it. And we hope we get their support.
What correspondence do you have with the board reference Conor Ben being his promoter and whatnot? Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, I called Robert Smith on Thursday and he said he'd call me back, and he ain't called me back. I mean, I'd hope with our standing and our activity of schedule of events that I would get a phone call back, but, you know, we'll see. But it's frustrating and we have to make our move. And, you know, I didn't know about that Saudi Arabian event being sanctioned by the board, that heavyweight fight. It shocked me, to be honest with you. Interesting as well. So we're going to get our heads together and we're going to move forward.
Talk about events, because I know Parsons is prodding me in the back, want to get a chat with you as well. Eddie, long 9 weeks, 9 shows I think it is ahead. Eddie, yeah, go and rattle them all off for me, because I'm as impressed by the way you can rattle off dates, names and opponents and that. So here's the mic, rattle it off.
Yeah, not just the dates, but every single fight on the card, every single fighter's record, everyone they've ever fought. But on a serious note, next week in Cancun, great card. I mean, Oshaki Foster against Rocky Hernandez for the WBC Super Featherweight World title is a great fight. Look out as well for the co-main event, our big Australian heavyweight Justice Hooney against Andrew Tabiti. Great fight. The week after, the number one in the 130-pound division, Joe Caldina, defends his world title in Monaco against Vasquez. Also look out for the rematch between Ramla Ali and Guzman on that card as well as another world title fight with Notashinga, our South African world champion. And then we're in Newcastle, of course, for Next Gen, November the 18th. We're back over the pond to Los Angeles in the YouTube Theatre for Diego Pacheco, headlining his first card, Cal Yafai on that card as well, Mark Castro. And a great fight between Maylene Rivas and Erica Cruz as well. November 25th, the small matter of Chantel Cameron against Katie Taylor. Fantastic rematch for the Undisputed Championship. Gary Cully against Reese Mould. Really good fight. As is Paddy Donovan against Danny Ball. Great fight. Big heavyweight Thomas Carty on the card as well. Sky Nicholson against Lucy Wildheart for the interim world title. Looks like Zelfa Barrett might be on that card now as well. The week after, we stay in Ireland. One of my favourite cards of the year. Yeah. Mick Conlon against Jordan Gill. Tyrone McKenna, of course, as well. You got Kevin Adjako against Troy Williamson. Great fight. The week after that, December the 9th, we go to San Francisco for Regis Prograis against Devin Haney. Tremendous fight. Already sold 10,000 tickets out there. It's going to be a packed night at the Chase Centre. And then Sonny Edwards, of course, trying to unify against Bam in Phoenix. And then 23rd, we'll see what happens. But it's a great run and feeling great, ready to head out to Cancun.
Eddie, well done. And I'll see you in the next one, big man. Thank you very much. Thank you.